how are you navigating through? Because trust me, ain't everybody getting equal shine. We know this. It's like it's Noah Lyles is going to be there at the beginning and at the end. You already know that. Taboho is probably going to enter somewhere in the middle of the plot, as far as I'm concerned. That's how I see that. Um, Gabby is one of those stories that I mean they might lead with, but I feel like they probably won't. I feel like she's kind of like when you're in that rising action, and then obviously you kind of put that crescendo at the top. So they'll probably do it like the Sharika and her kind of like how did it
Yeah.
converge, and then how did it land, and then Julian also again for all intents and purposes. If you are of course, if you're a casual fan, then she literally just showed up yesterday. If you are a track and field fan, then you feel like she broke out. If you
Yeah.
are that, I think that's how they would say it. People like me, it's like, well, this was inevitable. For the most part, you was gonna have to pry that medal away from her, and there was only one woman who was capable of doing it. Like to
Yeah.
me, it just seemed like it was like I just knew what she had in her, and that's why I was like, don't nobody want to see Julian Alfred on the starting line. Don't nobody in a women's one or a women's two. Don't. I would go so far as to say, in the straight up short sprint, she's the most dangerous woman in the sprint right now.
Ooh.
That's the
Ooh.
term I'm using. The most dangerous.
I like that. I
You
like
show up
that.
on a meet and she on the line. You like,
That's right. That's probably true because it is. She is such a triple threat, but I was like double threat, 100, 200, and she has like this untapped talent. Like just even,
she
of course,
always show up.
she always shows up. Like she's never going to give you a bad race. Now she might not win every single race, but you know she's going to be pushing you. Like she's going to be pushing you to that line. So, because yeah, I think it was a London Diamond League or something where in the 200, Gabby Thomas, second best to Sharika Jackson in terms of like this era right now. Gabby Thomas is coming from behind and just nips off Julian Alfred. Like
which is
Julian
why,
Alfred,
which is why I
yeah,
had Julian to win it. And when Julian came off the turn at the Olympics behind,
yeah,
I was like, it's over.
yeah, yeah. That point
Now
is over.
Julian again, she better than she ever been, obviously, and she
Yeah,
held it together real well. Because if this was last year, I don't think it would have looked like that at the end, even. But like fundamentally speaking, I was just like, okay, well, if this is what we're looking at this stage of the race, it's over. The Julian Alfred story, like I'm always here for it. I mean, I'd like to believe I helped them tell some of it
I was gonna say you've been screaming her praises for years now. It's like
because she
been
was the
there.
girl. Like she
She
in
was.
college, she was that woman.
Yep.
Like I'm and again like for that reason, I was like, this is we ain't never seen nobody go that fast that many times. Like if you don't know what I'm talking about and you're watching the video, I'll clarify. Her last year running in college in the 60-meter dash indoors, she ran faster than what was the collegiate record before she got to college in every single race of the season. And she ran a full season. It wasn't like she ran once or twice. Like she kept running over and over, faster than any woman had ever run. And by the time it was done, she was 200th off of the world record, a world record that was set, what, 1991, 92, 93?
Yeah. Yeah. 92.
Yeah. Like it was set all the way back then. I'm not going to say anything about it. There's a reason why it was set all the way back then. My point. So, I mean, yeah, like that story, I mean, like it needs to be put up more, but I'm sure they need to go get some notes from somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So then what do you think about yeah, like do you think that they'll do justice to Melissa Jefferson where they'll really capture because again, we're talking about a lot of people here. You know Gabby Thomas is going to get a lot of spotlight. Of course, Julian Alfred, 100-meter champion. Even Sharika Jackson is going to get a lot of spotlight even though she didn't run at the Olympics. Are they going to be able to do justice to someone like Melissa Jefferson considering where she's come from to be able to get to the Olympics?
Well, the answer is no, they won't have enough time, but at least I'll tell you what they would need to say if they wanted to get it right. These are things that have to get said. I don't know anything about personal life. We're not going there. We're talking about the track part. She was more or less not even a four-star recruit, from what I can tell,
Mm,
on my scale. So if the big schools weren't calling, it's because they didn't have a reason to. Showed up at Coastal And that first year, she starts showing up, doing some things that her talent from high school didn't suggest she should have been that fast, that quickly. Nobody's paying attention. And her sophomore year, she's dominating her conference, and then shows up to the NCAA indoor, I believe, that third year, and the rest was history. And she beat Julien in that race.
Yep.
That's
And
important.
Julien, if I'm remembering correctly, in the heats, she broke the NCAA record in the 60,
That's true.
right?
That was the first warning shot that Julien Alfred was about to be this. So good, she just didn't have the consistency yet, and clearly she got it now.
Yeah.
So for that reason, like if you got to hit that, like she wasn't supposed to be this fast, literally. There's the reason why I made a video with that title, because she was never supposed to be this fast. Otherwise, the big schools would have called.
Yeah.
And fortunately, she before the transfer portal really took off like that, where if you do run fast, you just don't stay anywhere. You just immediately hop. And then winning the American Championship, going to the Worlds. I think they'll probably pick it up from there. Some version of she won the American Championship, came out of college, lightning in a bottle, didn't make the Worlds the following year, and now she back. I feel like that's probably where it's how they'll probably have enough time to really get into. But if you was really going zero in, it's you. I think you got to put the never supposed to be this fast part, and don't just skate over it.
Yeah.
You really got to let people sit with the fact that like she, most of the top elite sprinters we have, like most of the world class, you knew they was world class when they was 17. It's like all those kids who are juniors in high school taking official visits right now for track. I said all those kids because there ain't that many kids. It's because those are the ones who the colleges already know. Like they know that Lisa Ray, like I'm dropping a name. Wow, I'm dropping her name in here. I'm gonna say it anyway. Like she's that good. I already know. Like as a sprinter, the only reason she ain't higher in my ranking than she is because there was a girl who was at the Olympic trials. So I couldn't give you the spot over her. But other than that, like in your class, you it. So like those are the ones who go to the games normally. And she was not that by a long shot. And I think
Yeah.
looking at this list, at least from the American sprinters, she is the only one on this list who we could say that about. Because Tanisha Terry, for all her hard work and dedication, and I take absolutely nothing away from her career, by the time she was coming out of high school, she was that girl.
Yeah. She was
She
good. She
was.
was good.
Melissa was not. Like she was not supposed to. She was. If they do include it, they did a good job. Because they definitely didn't watch our video because it's coming out too late. So as a result, like if they did get that part down, then you got to give them credit and say, you know what? Shout out to y'all, Netflix. You did some homework.
Yeah, I did a little bit of homework. So, I mean, overall, I think they have a good squad of people. Even with Sha'Carri being an omission, or even, someone like a Brittany Brown who got broads in the 200,
Yeah,
even like
she got that
Shelly.
Atmos money. She all right.
I mean, she
She
good.
good.
But I was gonna say even someone like a Shelly Ann Fraser Price, who she ran at the Olympics. That's like a compelling story because that was like her last Olympic Games. Didn't get her in, but I do like the fact that they have all these people. They got Let's see in, they got Julien Alfred, they got Kenny Bednarek, Shane Thompson. Like some of these people who weren't in the first one, they were able to pull into the second season. That to me as a track fan actually is really, really good. And then of course Noah, Gabby, et cetera, et cetera. That's all good.
Yeah, that's real, man. But well, we're gonna see. It's gonna drop soon.
My name is Anderson from The Final Leg.
And I'm Coach Rob from SCA Track and Field. And thank you for watching this segment from the finish line.
If you want to know what's really going on at the high school and college level, be sure to subscribe to Coach Rob Track and Field.
And if you want more content on the best track and field athletes in the world, be sure to subscribe to The Final Leg.